Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwadner and welcome to Selling Power's Daily Report. Today we'll talk with Dave Stein, the CEO and founder of ES Research. We'll talk about leadership. What is the number one thing a good leader must do?
Well, a good leader by definition has to get his people or her people to follow. And these days, with the tough competitive environments out there, sales leaders perhaps have the hardest job of any leader, perhaps even harder than some of the CEOs. Sales leaders need new approaches, new strategies, and new tools. What worked 5, 10, 15 years ago doesn't work anymore. So they have to be open-minded, they have to lead, and they have to win.
So when people join a company, they come with a full tank of gas. And over the years, they erode. What does a good leader do to get them back to speed?
Yeah, that's a hard one. I guess the natural occurrence is that there's a very high attrition rate amongst sales leaders.
ES Research doesn't look into that, but there's another company called CSO Research, and they say the average tenure of a sales leader is 19 months.
And unfortunately, that tenure is shrinking. And at ES Research, although we don't have those exact statistics, we know that when sales leaders employ best practices in terms of everything from methodology to hiring to opportunity management to strategic account management, when they're doing things the right way and they're winning, there's no afterburner as strong as having a winning sales team.
So if you're a CEO, what recommendation do you have for me? How do I hire my next best sales leader?
We've done a lot of work at ESR, and I formally in my career as a sales coach and consultant, helping companies hire sales leaders. And the most important thing, like selling, hiring should be based on a process. If a CEO or a COO or a general manager is trying to hire a sales manager or sales leader by the seat of their pants, the likelihood of that person lasting 18 or 19 months is remote. They're probably not going to last that long. So you need a process, first of all. And secondly, you really need to get an understanding of who that person is. As sales people become sales managers, all they are salespeople with additional responsibilities. So what you need if you want a leader is someone who has management experience, who has the traits and attributes that would lead toward being a successful manager.
So how do we strip away all the layers of pretense?
One of the ways to do it, and I recommend this to the CEOs with whom I work, is invite your sales leader candidate on a Friday for an interview and invite them with their wife or husband and their family if they have one, and make Saturday a day with the two families to get together. This gives the boss, the CEO, a real opportunity to understand how that person is, not only in an interview and not only based upon their resume, but how they are in a real life situation.
What would you typically look for?
Well, I'd look for the way that they relate not only to me and my spouse, my wife, but I more importantly would look to the way they relate to their significant other and perhaps their children. I know of one case where a CEO was blown away by how a sales leader candidate performed during that Friday interview, an all-day interview, only to find out that on Saturday that person verbally abused his children and his wife, and that was the end of that particular candidate for that company. And it could be very, very revealing. You're just not going to see that during an interview.
Thank you, Dave. That's really good insight on how to separate the leader as the professional from the leader as the person, and you really want to have both. You want to get the best of both worlds. Thank you so much, David, for joining Selling Power Daily Report.